All right, it's here. The Owl Vans Revel side ladder. Let's check it out. We got the ladder together. It was pretty easy. 4 bolts right here. Little problem here though. I'm gonna have to crank this up. This is a little bent, but that's all right. I'm actually gonna put a clamp on it and then pull it. Just, you know, it is what it is. And I also have the bracket up there, which was really easy. There's just a couple of drop brackets. I mean, if you look at the video online, they kind of nailed it. But the only thing is I had to move. You see that bracket right there for the rail? I have rails in here for solar panels, and I had to move that. So it's just 4 bolts. But that was actually here, so I had to move it there. I tried to move it here, but I couldn't because that was in the way. And I didn't have enough room, so I moved it over there. It really doesn't change the structure, so if there was something I had to do, that was one thing that I had to do that, you know, isn't. And then the bolts just drop in the rail. And now I just need to get my son out here to help me bolt that up there, because definitely need 2 people. You can't do this by yourself. And that's it. And then the bottom here is going to go into that pinch well down the bottom here. And there you have it. The ladder is installed. Took a little over an hour. I'm actually going to I'm going to actually put Starlink cable in that Apache box. But it took about an hour and 15 minutes. It was pretty straightforward. And there you have it. Got the Flagpole Buddy set up. I tried to put it on this side, but it wouldn't work because the flare got in the way. So I had to put it here, and I stuck it all the way up there so it's actually tucked back, because it was sticking out when it was over here, and I didn't really like that. But this is actually perfect, and I can actually do this one-handed. And I did have the Starlink out on here, but this is actually nice. You just have one of these cheap-ass poles this is just a flagpole from Harbor Freight. Goes right in, and you stick the Starlink on that, and it's actually just higher than the roof, and it extends. I can actually extend it another 5 feet above if I need to, and taking it off is just as easy. It just comes right off, right out, and right down. So it's a beautiful thing. I did need to use my own bolts. I actually had to go and get my own 1/2 inch. Actually, I think they're 3/8. They're 3/8 bolts, and I just had to get longer ones because it just wouldn't. This is made to go on a RV ladder, which is much thinner than this. Is a thicker material, so I actually had to get bigger bolts, and I had bigger bolts on the top too. But they're not. Pretty good investment, and it's perfect because it's actually right above the toilet as well, so the toilet still opens. And nice addition to the van. New ladder and Flagpole Buddy for the Starlink. So this is really cool. I just noticed this. There's a little Easter egg right at the top of the ladder. When the sun hits it, it says "Explore More." That is really cool. And I guess it's engraved on the top of the ladder, and then when the sun hits it, it actually shows on the side of the van, a little Easter egg. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna try and record this. We put the Owl Vans ladder in yesterday, and there it is. Pretty good install. It was pretty easy. It only took about an hour. The hardest thing was actually drilling the holes down here for those 2 bolts that go through the pinch well. You just have to make sure that you don't go too low. You only have about 1.5 inches. So I made sure that it actually went up as high as I could go, and then paint them. And then as far as the bracket, let's see if I can climb up here. It was just 4 bolts, these 2 and these 2. They drop. Nice thing is they drop right into the rail. This thing's pissing me off. They drop right into the rail. That was kind of a, and then I have some temporary like epoxy over that hole. I'm actually going to flex tape it. I just got tired and I just wanted to seal it up in case I didn't want any water to get in there. You can see there's a ton of water up here. And then I just took the line and actually just cinched it to the rail here. Came down and that one fell. Which you can get on Amazon. And look, it's not cheap. It was like $70 or $80, but there's a reason. I mean, it's actually very handy. It's all like a high-grade PVC plastic, so you don't have to worry about it rotting. And it's completely set up to put a flagpole in and out of it. And I put the Starlink on that. And then I just connected this Harbor Freight waterproof box that I keep the wire in. So I don't want the wire just sitting out, because I don't leave the Starlink out. And I had bolted that up and it works great.